Hello, good morning. We are surrounded by dogs today. Ray's got some friends around for coffee this morning, and the dogs have got pushed out of the sunroom and they've come and found me as I was setting up doing my video, and I didn't have the heart to lock them out of the room. It's been a wonderful week. So much has happened this week, and it's just, I don't know, it's just flown by. I can't really think what is the most exciting thing that's happened, but one of the things that happened was the announcement by Kahala Scissors of the new spring colours, and they've got 3 colours coming out on March the 31st. They're a beautiful dusky rose pink, a beautiful, well, they call it green, but it looks like an o'donnell or a duck egg. We shall see when they arrive. And then the other colour is sort of like a mellow, rich egg yolk yellow. It looks really nice, and you sort of think with the green, the yellow and the pink, it's very spring-like colours. You think of daffodils, you think of apple blossom, and all the beautiful sort of new growth that's all around us. Very, very lovely. I saw the scissors come up. Hobby House Needleworks advertised that they had them up on their site for pre-order. So I ordered all 3 colours. I couldn't choose between them. And to be quite honest with you, I really do want to collect them all. I love these scissors so much. But I've subsequently seen that the Attic Needleworks have got them available for pre-order as well. And if you're in the UK, I know that Beyond Measure will be getting in a supply of the scissors. They are great scissors. I love my Monsieur Roulet scissors, but those scissors are for special occasions. They're not for everyday use. But I stitch every day, and I want a pair of scissors that I can use every day, all day, for my needlework. And these scissors are robust enough to do that. They have these wonderful lacquered handles. Are you interested in scissors? And they sit so nicely in my hand and on my fingers. They feel nice in the hand. They have a wonderful cutting action, and their blades are so fine. Come on now, we're meant to be professional when we're doing these. I'm sorry. So these blades are very, very fine. And what that means is, because they're so fine, you can get right down to the base of the thread that you're going to cut off. Oh, I'm so sorry about this. Do I go and lock you outside? No, I can't do that. So you've got to stay in here and be a really good little boy. Yes. So sit down there. Now sit. You're going to sit. Is Hugo going to sit down? Not in front of the camera though. Oh, I'm sorry. They are funny little sausages. If you're stitching on high count linens, the space that you're putting your stitches in is quite small. So you want to cut your thread right to the base, so there's nothing taking up that space that you've got for your stitching. And that's something that you will notice more on the higher counts when you're stitching. It's really important to get your threads right down to the base, and these very, very fine blades enable you to do that. I've seen a few people ask, should the tips be a little blunt? The tips don't go to an absolute point. They are, oh, Hugo, you little tinker, I'm sorry. They do go to a slight, they're not blunt on the end, but they're not hyper sharp on the end. And in a way, they are pointed enough to get under, to lift a thread, but they're not too pointed that you're going to accidentally put a hole in your fabric. I have done that before, and it's not a nice thing when it happens. Anyway, The 3 new colours are available. As soon as mine arrive, I will show them. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I have all my Kahalas in a little scissor holder by the side of my chair, and I get an awful lot of pleasure out of looking at them. The days are gone when I can wear high heel shoes, so scissors are my new sort of, I'm not going to say fetish, but obsession. I do love them so much. Okay, so that was the one bit of excitement. The other bit of excitement for us was on a personal level. We went up to Wales and we saw our grandchildren and our children, which was really, really lovely. Every time we see the boys, they've grown, and not just grown in height, they've matured, and the eldest grandson, Reese, he's just sat his mock GCSEs and he was starting to get his results, and he was so excited to share that with us. And then the talk started to turn towards driving lessons, and you think, gosh, you know, where are the years gone since they were little babies, and you know, now he's sort of looking forward to learning to drive a car. And our other grandson, Theo, he is a very good sports person, and he plays rugby and he plays football, and he is a really good sportsman. His granddad is so proud of him. Ray used to play rugby and football, and it's just lovely to see both the boys, how they are maturing and blossoming into really nice young men, young men. What else happened? Well, yesterday I gave a talk at Cowslip Workshops in Launceston, and that's just on the edge of the Cornish border as you're about to go into Devon. And it was a wonderful day. I always really, really enjoy going to Cowslip Workshops. Jo Coville is an amazing lady, very inspirational. And she'd asked me to give a talk, and we had great fun. Some people travelled a long way to come, which I felt very flattered and honoured that they, you know, travelled so far to hear me speak. It was a beautiful day there. The sun was shining, and if you ever visit Cowslip Workshops, it's in such a beautiful country location. It was glorious. One of the things that you'll see when you visit Cowslip is husbands patiently waiting. And yesterday it wasn't just husbands, it was dogs as well. I just couldn't resist taking some photograph of these 2 very, very patient husbands as their wives were shopping, and you know, one of the wives was coming to my talk as well. It was a great day. The ladies were very, very interested in what I had to say, and we had a wonderful question and answer session at the end. And we also had a little sales table there, and I was so grateful to everybody who bought the items that I had for sale. We had some new things there, and they were very enthusiastically received. Now, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be at the Cross Stitch Guild for their retreat, and I will be giving a talk, and I will also be having some items there for sale, and there's going to be some new products for Hands Across the Sea samplers. I've been sort of busy since I've come back from Nashville, getting things organised, and my orders are starting to arrive. I hope to have some very beautiful linen available to show you on that weekend retreat. Fingers crossed if the postman does his job. You never know when mail is coming from abroad how long it's going to take to arrive, but I am so excited about that weekend as well. Going back to Cowslip Workshops and Jo, I used to be a quilter. Well, I still am a quilter, I just haven't quilted for several years, and I've made many quilts from Jo's beautiful designs. This is one of my favourite quilts of Jo that I made. This is probably going to be upside down. Yes, it is. This is one of Jo's wonderful designs. This is probably not the right place to show a quilt, but if ever you go to Cowslips, you are going to have a wonderful time looking at all of Jo's things. Many of the cushions in my home are Jo's designs. I love this one, the little dog in. Oh, my house is just full of them. I just showed you that one. There's another one again with the dog. And this is a favourite one with the hare. Jo has some really great books full of patterns for cushions and quilts. So, you know, go along to the Cowslip Workshops website and have a look at that. Stitching. I have not put in one stitch all week. I've been very, very busy getting a new sort of sideline for us off the ground. Yeah, it's been exciting, and I'm looking forward to talking more about that in the weeks ahead. Today, as it's Mothering Sunday, and I think a mother is the centre of a home. The samplers that I've got out today, they all have red houses. I love a red house sampler. Many of you have stitched the rose and the giant pear. That has a really beautiful red house. I have a sampler here that we haven't released yet. This is Elizabeth Dickinson, and this is a sampler that we will release sometime later this year. It has this gorgeous honeysuckle border and a really grand red house. That's beautiful. This was stitched by Linda for me. And then we have a tiny little house on Charlotte Entwistle again. I haven't released this one yet, but I will do so as soon as the companion sampler to this one is stitched. This one comes as a pair. We've had a new antique sampler come with a red house, and this one will be reproduced in the not too distant future. Very, very beautiful sampler, and a really gorgeous red house on that one. Lots of things to delight the eye in this one, and it's going to be very interesting to see the back colours on the sampler as well. An old favourite of mine, Marion Horsburgh. That is a dinky little red house. I have great pleasure at looking at this sampler together with Where Flowers Bloom. They hang side by side in my kitchen, just above the worktop, where I spend probably most of my time when I'm in my kitchen working on that worktop. I've got a whole row of little samplers. They sit above the work surface, but below the plate rack above. Oops, why is that? Oh, well, that wasn't very clever. Emma Lavinia Croker. I love this sampler. This is a magnificent sampler. Everything a schoolgirl sampler should have. Very elegant, gracious sampler. That one hangs in my kitchen as well. Let's see if that will stand up by itself. No, I'm going to put that one down. And the other sampler I have here is Margaret Anderson, and this is a workshop project for Hobby House Needleworks in October. This is a Scottish sampler, and it has, you know, an imposing red house there. Very interesting sampler, this one. Today, I'm trying to cram so much in. When I got back from Cowslip Studios last night, I was so tired. I was in bed asleep by 8 o'clock last night. So we woke up early this morning, but the clocks have gone forward. So although it was early, it was an hour later, if you understand what I mean. So I took the dogs out and we had this fabulous walk up on the Towns, and we walked towards the coast path and we came back all along the coast, and do you know what, we didn't see one soul, and the air was fresh, it was full of spring. We saw newborn lambs in the field, and it was just so beautiful walking this morning. And then we got home, and then it was a shower, some breakfast, and Ray's had some friends come around, but I'm actually going out for lunch today. My honorary granddaughters are taking me out for lunch. So it's sort of been a bit of a rush morning. So now I've got to go and tidy all this up, go and sort of spend some time with Ray's friends, and then I'm out for lunch. I feel so blessed today, and I felt so blessed yesterday with the enthusiasm that was shown for reproduction samplers when I was giving a talk. Right, okay, I'm sorry this one hasn't got much content and I had no stitching to show you, but I hope that you still enjoyed sort of checking in with me. Hopefully next weekend I'll have more sort of stitching things to show you. Have a good week and stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.